Hey, what's up guys, it's Jamie. I'm going to be showing you how to use the Angular Material button. It's pretty simple, so let's get right into it. If you haven't seen my tutorial on how to get started with Angular Material, be sure to check that out and this will make a lot more sense. We're going to get started with just this basic button here, the very first example on their site. And all they do to get that working is you just have a regular button tag, and then you just have to put mat-button as an attribute. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that into this empty app I have. The other thing we got to do is go inside the module file, and if you haven't already, make sure to import the browser animations module from Angular Platform Browser Animations. But we'll also definitely want to import the mat-button module. And yeah, let's see where that leaves us here. Alright, so we have a button, and it works just like on the site. It says click me. But there are a lot of other interesting things you can do with buttons, like mostly just different stylings. So if we go over to the examples portion here, they have all these different kinds of buttons, and I'm going to be describing how they all work. So we can do this top part first, basic buttons. So if we paste that into our site here, basically what they have is just a div with a bunch of buttons in it, and they all just have that same mat button. But what they're doing is they're setting the color here. Color schemes within Angular Material have three basic colors that you can use. I've done a tutorial on Angular Material custom theming, so if you want to mess around with what colors these primary, accent, and warning are, be sure to check that out. They're setting the color here to be primary, accent, and warning, and then there's a disabled one, and then there's one that can change the router link. So if your site has multiple routes like /home, /about, stuff like that, you could just put like about here, and then it would navigate your browser to that route. So let's check that out, those changes. So the basic one has no coloring, it's just the color of the background, and then the color of the color scheme is blue here, the primary color. Accent color is pink, warning is red, and the disabled one, you can't click it. And then the link would change the router, but they set the endpoint to be dot, which just means here, so it won't change anything. Alright, the next segment of buttons is raised buttons, which is pretty much exactly the same thing except for they're just raised now. So I'll put those below the first one. So same exact thing except for it's mat raised button instead of mat button. And we'll see what that looks like on our app. And you can see instead of changing the text color, it changes the background color. I think these look a lot nicer personally. I think these are more for like primary actions buttons, and then these top ones are for like cancel buttons and so forth, but really just depends on your taste. Okay, back in the code, we're going to copy the next one, which is icon buttons. So we'll paste that down here. So with the icon buttons, they're marked with mat icon button, and inside of them, instead of just plain text, it takes a mat icon. And then inside of there, you choose the icon which you want to display. There's a list of all the icons which Angular Material accepts at material.io/icons. And then it just has this big list of icons. Like I can choose this build one. I can put that in place of favorite for this first one, build. So let's see what that looks like on our site. Looks like we have an error. We probably need to import something. Mat icon is not a known element. Okay, so we need to go into the module app.module and add an import for matte icon module. And make sure that imports auto imports from Angular material up here as well. Alright, so it should work now, and it does. Oh, you know what else we need? We need the font, the Angular material font library. So we can just grab that from the Angular material site. In their Getting Started guide, they have a section on icons. And you can just copy this link and paste it inside of your index.html. You can just put it anywhere inside of the head. Okay, so now that we have that, we should see our icons. There they are. There's the build one. And these are all buttons again. This one's disabled. And they're all grabbing the same primary accent and warning colors. Alright, next up we have these fab buttons. I'm going to copy both these because they're really similar. But basically, FAB or fab stands for floating action button. And they're just these little circle buttons. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that in the code. So there they are, the floating action buttons, and the mini ones. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are the buttons. All we had to do is import the icon library, the matte button module, and we needed the browser animations module. So yeah, let me know if you guys like this video in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe for more videos like this. I'm not actually from France, by the way. I just have a shirt that says France on it, so I'm wearing it. Yeah.